time. You wretched sneaking thief, you dare not come out boldly as less crafty burglars might. No, you subtle, sly embezzler, you dip into my life's accounts while I go blithely unaware. Drop by drop, you steal the glow of color from my hair, the light of sight from my eyes, the music of sound from my ears, the dancing spring from my step, and the only interest left me due on these diminishing accounts is increasing pain. You have stolen all my little tots, and one at a time you seek to rob me of my loved ones and my friends. And in the end, I know you'll drain me of the last dear drop of life. Yet I have foiled you, stealthy thief. I have treasures that you know not of, where you can't break through nor steals, stores of patience, wisdom, love, compassion, knowledge, faith. I tricked you, thief, recovered my babes as equals, friends, kept loved ones forever alive in my heart. The essence of my being lies securely locked inside eternity's strong safe. Despite the graying hair, aloof from failing sense and weakened limb, my soul still sees with true delight, still hears with pleasure, dances with joy. The royal child remains intact. One day you will be arrested, thief. My merciful, just, and loving judge will restore each treasure I have lost. He will reign triumphant, thief, and you shall steal no more.
Treasure beyond measure. Grandchildren, the Lord's reward for parenthood endured. One's just to be enjoyed and adored, deep love with the weight removed. Heirs, but with joy added, improved. Little to concern, so much to please. Received with joy, lightness, and ease. Thank God for grandchildren. Love, Grandma.
Spring cleaning my soul. I survey my house, dirty and cluttered. A good cleaning is long overdue. I gird up my loins and wade in. I toss out held grudges, oiled rags that could burst into flame, relieved at danger removed. I throw out false expectations, useless now as remotes for instruments no longer owned. I wipe off smudged prints of a few petty sins. A fresher look already begins. I sort shelves of old notions, long outdated textbooks I've lived by for years. I get stuck perusing their pages. Outmoded, yes, but I like them. I return them to the shelf. The job I began with such vigor has bogged down and slowed. Clutter now looks foreboding, a glut of all sorts of stuff, some stacked, some scattered about. I list items requiring bold effort, broken promises needing epoxy, rusted habits that should be replaced, bad memories stuffed under, not gone, just displaced. Good intentions tucked too long in drawers, boxes of dogma keepsakes, clogging mind's scarce space, worries stacked up like dire headlined newspapers. I slump in the midst of my clutter, discouraged, and weep. Days waiting, no time to deal with such junk. What can I do in the light still remaining? I'll dust cobwebs from dear, dwindling dreams, polish small, tinkling crystals of hope, then call the day good after all.
Spring 2020. An unseen virus circles the earth. Yet the sky is still blue, the grass is still green, oak trees still majestic, flowers still bloom, golden daffodils, blue hyacinths, pink roses. Little squirrels still scamper up and down the trees. Birds still come to the feeder. I still hear them sing. Though we are closed up alone in our homes, there is still much to enjoy. The virus may linger long, but in time it will pass, and all this will remain.
Spring fling. Spring and winter had a little tift. Green lace is best, young spring insists. Stubborn old winter won't give in. Dressing too gaily must be a sin. To cover spring's green, he flings a veil of white. No, she cries, I'm sick of the sight. Your drab winter colors make me scoff. Tossing her head, she warmly casts white off. You offer nothing but white, brown, and gray. I can't stand the world to be dressed this way. Waving her hand, she scatters green. He flings more white, so it can't be seen. Back and forth the arguments go, a spread of green, then a cover of snow. Sweet-natured spring sees compromise. Do these white blossoms please your eyes? Yes, he agrees, that satisfies me. So winter retreats, but as he turns away, spring joyfully flings color of every array.
Small chance delights fill hunger for pleasure, like a shaft of sunlight that glides my lawn. Luminescent raindrops that gleam like treasure. Fragrance of roses that wafts, then is gone. Chance, little things that bring such joy to us. The tinkling sound of a small pebbled stream. The glad morning song of a tiny thrush. The taste on the tongue of berries and cream. Coincidence that music can move us to tears, that we thrill at the clutch of newborn fingers, that a lovely scene is recalled for years, that beauty fills a deep hunger that lingers, or minute details in a vast greater plan, a plan and purpose to grant joy to man.
Dad's hands. Dad's strong hands held something of magic. They touched a garden, and it bloomed. Then picked the blossoms and to speak his love. They tenderly cradled the newborn babies. First his own 5, then theirs, then theirs. 3 generations clung to his fingers and bounced on the pony his foot provided. This is the way the farmer rides, gallopy, gallopy, trot, trot, trot. Dad's stories weren't long on words. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, way, way up in the high blue mountains, where the bears are, lived an old, old man. Some bad, mean boys always came up there to tease and trick this strange old man. One day, the old man told those bad, mean boys, "If you tease me just one more time, I'll call my bears to come and eat you up." And the boys did, and the man did, and the bears did. Words were few, but hands never tired. Squirmy little ones grew calm and still as he traced pigs and cows and chickens on tiny, wiggly, restless backs. A kind of balm was in his fingers to soothe the pain of aching shoulders and remove the strain of a weary day. "My Willie can do anything," Mom always said, borrowing a line from an old comic strip. And verily I believe that it was true. There was no broken thing that Dad couldn't fix, even including a broken heart. A wish could scarcely be uttered before a new shelf appeared like magic. An old chair was skillfully mended. a new rosebush tenderly planted. His big, strong, masculine hands found no task demeaning or unmanly. He found broom and dish towel honorable as pick and shovel, the quilting needle and yard worthy as hammer and nail. His magical hands brought forth baby cradles to rock in, toys to slide on and crawl through, quilts to snuggle under, canned fruits to fill the shelves, vegetables to banish hunger. Power flowed through those worthy hands to bestow authority, to heal and bless, to perform the sacred things of the Lord. Words can be full of beauty and yet be empty. Love spoken by tireless hands can never be doubted. His hands spoke with eloquence of selflessness, service, devotion. And finally, when he had no words at all, a squeeze of that devoted hand last spoke eternal love.
To Emily by Carol Tyler. You're not dwelling in heavenly clouds. You're planted here, midst earth's hairy crowds. Time doesn't matter very much in heaven. There's no hurried rushing 24/7. Heaven's angels' full time is to care. Earth's angels' time is precious to share. Heaven's angels carry out God's commands. Earth's angels supply his loving, kind hands.
A real cowboy. That dolled up dude ain't no real cowboy. Any darn fool can see that. A real cowboy don't wear them Playboy snakeskin boots and Stetson hat. His hat be dirty, sweat stained and torn. High heels keep feet up in the stirrup strap. They're meant for riding, not to be worn by some strutting city show-off sap. A cowboy's boots are scuffed and soiled from mucking out the cattle yard. Any fine duds would soon be spoiled. Real cowboy's hands are rough and hard. That dude's soft hands never twirled a rope. There ain't no way he could rope a cow. If he wants to try, I don't have much hope. It'd take me a year to show him how. Slow walk and sleepy eyes show he's lazy. I guess dressing up must give him joy. But give him a herd, he'd go plumb crazy. Nope, he sure ain't no real cowboy.
Bare branches. Winter's naked branches reveal the tree's true skeletal shape and form, reveal the lovely white bark that is hidden in summer. They show the lovely structures of broad limbs and tiny branches. They let the sun shine through, shimmering on the white bark. They show off the glistening sparkle of frost on the branches on freezing winter mornings. They let me see squiggly squirrels scamper on tiny, fragile twigs or climb straight up rough trunks. At sunset, they cast gorgeous, dark silhouettes against a pale pink sky. I see beauty in bare branches, but this morning they are lovelier still, since last night's storm has clothed them in pure white blossoms of snow. Happy birthday, Grandma. Love you.
My name is Harper, and I'm reading Dandelions. Dandelions, just weeds, offered from a tiny child's fist. Orchids to mothers.
Come here. Come here.
Eve's Clothing by Carol Waddoups Tyler. The apron of fresh leaves offered no protection for walking forth in a savage world. Something stronger was required, a coat of skins. But now and then was Eve allowed to put on beautiful robes to remind her of the glory she might someday wear. Was she allowed now and then to adorn herself again with green leaves and rejoice in the privilege to bring forth fruit? Did she sometimes don a beautiful veil and dream of a future crown? Having done so, was it easier to face the world again in her coat of skins?
Happy birthday, Grandma. I've loved reading all of your writings over the years, and today I want to read to you one of yours that I really love called Coming to Know Joy. Go down, my child, and have joy. So I came down knowing neither what joy is nor how to find it. In innocence I grew and bloomed. I learned and laughed and played. I loved and was dearly loved. I didn't know that all of that was joy. My youth was full of strength and vigor, crammed with increasing freedom, expanding experience and knowledge, deepened testing and stretching of faith, time crowded with finding and using talents. Looking back, I know that too was joy. Fully grown, I took on worldly cares, the hurly-burly business of working, the burdens of acquisitions, of competition. I knew the heavy duties of parenthood, callings, endless pressures, and daily cares. I was too hurried to feel the joy, yet it was always there, brimming over. How sad that only in looking back do I see that it was all joy, because I didn't know what joy was. I often missed it along the way. It is in the glorious privilege of living, the rich beauty and awe of God's creations. It is in the process, it is in the becoming, it is in the enduring, the overcoming, and most of all, it is each precious moment with the people we love. Now that I know what joy really is, may God grant that I might recognize it every moment of every day. I'm so glad that you're part of the reason I have joy in my life, and I am hoping that you can meet our little girl in June, or perhaps May 12th, as you have predicted. But I love you, and I'm so grateful for everything that you've done for me. Happy birthday, Grandma.
Happy birthday, Grandma Tyler. I'm going to read a poem that you wrote for Erin when she was a baby. Sweet Erin, our brown-eyed beauty, oh, how we adore you, our lovable cutie. Your disposition so sweet and mild, make you an even more precious child. Laugh and be happy on your birthday. May your whole year be as glad as today. Thank you for writing this sweet poem about Erin. Thank you for giving me Kathy, who gave me Erin. And I'm really excited that we're going to have our baby girl soon. And hey, maybe she'll be born on your birthday like Erin said. Well, I hope not, but I'm really excited for you to meet her.
Nature, let the blind see, the deaf hear. Open your eyes, see the beauty to be found in all things, from mountain peaks to small insect wings. See autumn show off, being daringly bold, dressed in orange, dark green, red, and gold. See shadows throw patterns across each flat place, then flit over the mountain, shifting moods on her face. See ugly dark sage turn to maize softly yellow, a harsh scene change to one pleasantly mellow. See gold nuggets floating around in pungent fall air. Watch squirrels frolic unshielded on branches now bare. Look unto the depth of others' seemingly dark eyes, to see the light and the beauty which therein lies. Open your ears. Hear the seasonal bells calling children to school, the tiny plop-plopping of rain dropping in pools. Hear the crunch of crisp, dry leaves as you walk, the chatter of squirrels as if making small talk. Tune your ear. Hear the soft flutter of falling leaves, the loud raucous squawking of departing geese. Catch a faint strain of music floating on air, bringing a memory but from when or where. Hear a soft, gentle wind barely heard as a whisper, or a powerful gale raging, roaring like thunder. Open your heart. Feel awe at the earth's grand magnificence. Ponder and thrill at its deep significance.
I'm at the beach and I'm going to read Good Clean Dirt. Out in the country, I saw the neatest sign. Clean dirt wanted is what it advertised. I'd like the sign from that house in front of mine. I will bet you anything they had a little kid. In fact, I'm absolutely positive those people did. Clean dirt, wouldn't that be grand? We could dig and play in it all day and still have clean clothes and hands. Add a little water to make nice clean mud, then roll in the paint in and paint myself with nice clean crud. I don't mind our dirty dirt one bit, but when I track it on the floor, Mom doesn't exactly think it's such a hit. So let's advertise and buy some good clean dirt. Then I could even play in it dressed in my Sunday shirt. That one feels particularly, I don't know. I'm on the beach and my feet are covered in dirty sand. So it felt like a good one to do right now. Happy birthday, Grandma. I love you.
Where You Live by Carol Tyler. I love to watch your face when you are unaware. It gives me glimpses of your mind and the life you live in there. It's never blank, expressionless, completely in repose. There's always something going on, as your face plainly shows. Now and then a small, tight scowl reveals perplexities. In your eyes, dark pools seem probing life's complexities. Often, very often, a tiny smile I find, signaling that some delightful happening has rippled through your mind. Wistfully, I try to peek into the windows of your face. Please invite me in and let me share your fascinating, busy, private place.
On Where I Live. You ask to be let in, but you're already here. If you could see behind my smile, you'd find your laughter there. The very fabric of my thoughts exists in words learned from your lips. It could be poetry or calculus, drama, chemistry, or art, but your wit, love, and insights always play a leading part. You are my solid fulcrum to pry at life's complexity. Your outstretched faith's the lever that turns my doubts to clarity. Oh, Mother dear, you're part of me. I could never lock you out. I don't know how to let you in. Maybe you can bring me out.
As a young girl, bathing my eyes in our world's endless elegance, I longed to capture, hold, eternalize, with paint and brush save each nuance, but I lacked the skill. Now I attempt with different brush to layer words instead of paint. My pen falters and the harried rush of my mind incurs constraint. I still lack the skill. At last I must submit. I find I can capture, hold, refill life's beauty in stores of my mind. Only there find the lingering thrill that I may call up at will.
So back in 2007, around the time of my birthday, March 22nd, I asked Grandma, for my birthday, will you write me a poem? She seemed slightly reluctant, but she did. And the title of the poem is Who is Laura? And this poem is something I've gone back and reread during times I've struggled, and it is my most cherished possession that I have. So, without further ado, the poem, Who is Laura? Who is Laura? She's that lovely girl of charm and grace, but so much more than a pretty face. She wants to probe, understand deep things, still searching for ways to spread her wings. Seeking, reaching for the highest ideals, yet often uncertain just how she feels. Many questions fill her questioning mind. She struggles inside, groping to find elusive answers, wanting to know, are the things I believe in really so? Because goodness is rooted deep inside, it will direct her away from that evil tide that would pull her down to endless woe. She will triumph, this I know. Who is Laura? A special young woman set apart for me to cherish with all my heart. Love, Grandma Tyler, March 22nd, 2007.
Stand in holy places. My old childhood home is gone, I'm told. Nearly 70 years old when I was born there. Now emptied, crumbling and condemned. It has been torched, reduced to ashes. Yet, again I run breathlessly up the yellow brick path my mother laboriously laid all by herself. I catch a glimpse of potted pink geraniums on the weathered windowsill. As Mama parts the freshly laundered lace curtains, I looking out anxiously for me. I open the sagging screen door. Inhale the fragrance of freshly baked bread. My mouth waters again for the sweet taste of Mama's spicy cinnamon rolls. Always timed precisely to come out of the oven, just as I came home from school. I see once more the steep wooden stairs I climbed each night to sleep, safe and secure, untroubled, unthreatened by fear or cares. I hear Daddy's heavy, tired tread on those squeaky steps as he comes to show forth an increase of love to a sobbing child he reproved with sharpness a few moments before. I see the faded linoleum on the kitchen floor, patterns worn by my frail mama's frequent scrubbing. In a rash of remorse, I remember how my own knees ached the few times I spared her. I hear echoes of uncontrolled laughter as my big brother rolls on the kitchen floor, holding his belly aching with laughter, consumed in giggles at the response he expects from the trick he plans to play on his too strict, unsuspecting teacher. Once more I tumble with my brothers behind our old black cook stove. Mother props her tired, cold feet on the open oven door and opens a book. I shed tears at the sweet, sad story of Indian maiden Alaska in Texas down by the Rio Grande. I sit with little Hiawatha by the shores of Gitchigumi. I go singing through the rye with Robert Burns performed in Mother's perfect Scottish brogue. Heroes David and Daniel, Nephi and Ammon come alive to me at Mother's feet. Scene after scene flows past me quickly, are the years of my childhood and youth. A last sad sacred time fills my heart. As I fly hastily home, summoned from a distant place, Father stands stricken in that shabby old front room, looking dazed and uncomprehending, shocked. I realize he cannot live in that house alone. All his children are there, but there is no sound of the rowdy living which once filled the house. Us grandchildren crowding, questioning how 10 children grew up in such a small place. With my arms around my father's shrunken shoulders, I wonder with him why a house so full of people feels so empty. Out of the ashes, I see her house there. Yet people insist the old house is gone. Carol, I felt a great deal of emotion as I reread this poem. Thank you for writing it, and happy birthday.
Covenant hands. How beautiful are hands, raised in promise, outstretched to receive like a cup, spread forth to give, to bless, upraised in supplication, privileged to touch the sacred, healed wounds, clasped in fellowship, bonded in love.
So one time after a breakup, I was at Grandma's house and I was feeling pretty down, and she pulled up a book called Poems That Will Save Your Life. And she said, oh, let's see what we got here. And she flipped to one called All for the Best. And in that occasion, she was certainly right. I think the book had just been a gift, but I have found a lot of comfort in her poetry. I often keep her book by my bed and read it at night, and it always makes me feel good. And I'm just grateful for her and Grandpa's example of what true love is. Love that failed. I thought you loved me. You had my trust. I wanted your life, of mine to be part. So trusting in you, as true love must, unsparingly, unwisely, I gave you my heart. The test you devised I did not understand, only that I was on trial and had miserably failed, for lack of some virtue that you demand, and so your love never prevailed. You passed judgment, the unrighteous kind, never bothering to learn my heart or my mind. If I had known then what now I do, your test of me had been my test of you. For true love admits of no test, but loves the flaws along with the rest. Love that prevailed. I came from past loves with a shattered soul, never knowing exactly what my lack was. Finally, only your love again made me whole, when you accepted me, loved without cause. Now to your love I'm eternally bound, knowing the strength of devotion I've found. For real tests often arise, and often I've failed, but your deep, pure love has always prevailed.
My Savior's Call. The Savior's call has come to me. His hand outstretched, he beckons, come. He bids me walk, as Peter did, upon the sea. The Master calls me, I will go. In haste I heed his call to come. With trust I step to waves below. They bear me up, and still I see his hand outstretched, he beckons, come. I walk as Peter did upon the sea. The waves around me boisterous grow. Still reaching out, he beckons, come. But I look down to waves below. The billows wildly toss the sea. The depths of darkness beckon, come. I sink, then cry as Peter did, O Lord, save me. Why didst thou doubt? Didst thou not know that thou couldst trust my call to come? Through doubt thou sank to waves below. My child, my strength sufficeth thee, should thine own weakness overcome. Learn thou to walk, as Peter did, upon the sea. The Saviour's call still comes to me. Hand still outstretched, he beckons, come. He bids me walk, as Peter did, upon the sea.
To Linda. Were we friends up there before we came to this earth, perhaps eons and eons before our birth? Did we laugh together sewing gowns of light, share our joys, our sorrows, our dreams with delight? Did you agree to let me come first to this strife, because you knew how I'd need you all of my life? Did you watch with impatience as I searched for your dad? When we knelt at the altar to be sealed, were you glad? Did we plead long ago for things the veil has now hid? Family bonds to seal friendship? I like to think that we did.
On James 1:27, religion, pure and undefiled. Once, on a desert trip to cattle sales, Dad picked up an old hitchhiker. A hobo by his looks, I guessed. Dad, as was his usual way, soon engaged him in rapt conversation. When, at length, talk turned to religion, the stranger boldly declared, "My religion is love." "Best religion there is," Dad agreed. I don't know if that man lived it or only said it, but this is a truth I have learned. Love must be an active verb. I hope when I am gone, it can be honestly said of me, her religion was love.
Sharing the pain. I know you can't feel my pain, but somehow I feel you should, so I moan and groan and complain. Take some, please, if you would. When you simply choose to ignore, I swear to make you feel my aches. So I grouse and complain some more, whine all day if that's what it takes. Gripe and bitch and bellyache. At last on your face some pain I see. You're beginning to feel it along with me. You too long to be pain-free, but your pain in the neck is me.
On Rhyming in Time, written for Chris at the time of his marriage. Tick-tock, hickory-dickory-dock, little boy Blue is learning to rhyme. Unceasingly ticks the nursery clock, but mother and child, oblivious to time, rock and sing, sing and rock, tick-tock. Relentlessly ticks the childhood clock. So now, goodbye to rocking and singing as farther you stray with each solo walk. Each ticking tock new adventure is bringing. Tick-tock, sharing the talk, tick-tock. Tick-tock, how rapidly passes the time. You've now grown so wise with education. Please, oh please, no poems that rhyme, so wondrously wise in sophistication. Why, oh why, can't a mother stop time? But mother, your baby, I always will be. No, oh no, son, you must be a man, it's what I always dreamed you would be. Right from the start, that goal was my plan. The places you're going, you can't go with me. Tick-tock, tick-tock, you're gone, my boy Blue, for one last time only rhyming will do.
How did I know? The way their gazes seemed locked together, his raised eyebrows, her silent answers. The way he touched her cheek so tenderly, her possessive hand resting on his knee. Their simultaneous bursts of laughter, knowing secret looks they passed thereafter. Kind little things he always did for her, similar things she always did for him. I could see that this was no fleeting whim. Their secret love was betrayed by their eyes when she flashed flashed her sparkler, what a surprise.
Songs of my heart. What makes me want to sing? Everything. Oh, everything. Summer, autumn, winter, spring. The melodies each season brings. A flash of color from lifting wings. The song of doves each morning brings. My purple mountains, changing scenes. Its heights and valleys, falls and springs. A dear husband's kind and constant care. The righteous posterity that we share. Happy children's faces alight and fair, like colorful flowers I see everywhere. A pleasant walk with a cherished friend, a bright, blooming garden to keep and tend. Chatter and laughter in a pleasant blend, a good night's sleep at a good day's end. A snuggle with an absorbing best book in a tranquil, comfortable favorite nook. Numerous sources of knowledge to drink, ponderous questions to make me think. Freedom to see foreign sights and to roam, the more blessedness of coming home. A sweet, warm welcome, love to inspire, at last, my own soft chair by the fire. Being dressed in white with a bit of lace, joining with friends in a sacred place. Sensing that this is my Savior's own place, learning to know his redeeming grace. Oh, I could think of a million things that always makes me want to sing. Alas, my voice is harsh, a tuneless thing, but oh, how my heart can sing.
Trees with Blossoms by Lily Evelyn Thompson. Trees with blossoms and shade. Each branch is one of us. Together we make a tree. Now do you understand the family tree?
The gift. Spiritually naked I stand, helpless against life's winds, blowing filth, sin, and temptation. Blind and deaf I stand, vulnerable, hungry, powerless. I enter sacred portals. I am warmed, cleansed, forgiven. My eyes are open to the light. My ears are opened to the word. I am wrapped in protection. I am clothed with power. I feast on the bread of life. With outstretched hands, I receive the gift to my cup, tokens of love. I glimpse the robes of glory I may someday wear. I leave armed with power, with knowledge, with vision, with protection. I leave committed, consecrated, prepared again to face the lone and dreary world.
Emily. I can't capture Emily on paper. She's too alive, too vibrant, glowing. Fitting adjectives elude me. Tender, caring, compassionate seem somehow inadequate. Bold, strong, and forthright seem true, yet not quite right. Independent, ambitious, daring? No, that sounds a little overbearing. And she's not. So what? I give up. Mix all these adjectives in unique and individual simile. You might come close, but it still won't be Emily.
Hi, I'm Alex, and this is
Xander.
And we're going to read A Kangaroo's View of You. And this is what Grandma Tyler says about it. She says, while walking in Australia one day, we observed a kangaroo hopping along on a parallel path about 50 yards away. It would hop ahead of us just a few yards and then turn to look at us. As we drew near, it would bound away a few more yards, then turn to look at us again. This continued for several moments, then it bounded out of sight. I wondered what it thought of us. Okay, and so here's a kangaroo's view of you. What a strange, ungainly creature. How awkwardly it moves around. Just one foot before the other.
Always 1 foot on the ground. Not a hop, not a leap, not a bound. What an odd head. So big and round. Flat little ears close to its head. I really doubt how much it hears. It needs good, tall, pointy ears instead. I wonder how it gets over a fence. No broad tail to give it balance. Such small feet. No good for defense. Against a kangaroo, it has no chance. How can it kick with those small feet? If it should ever want to box with me, it would be an easy opponent to defeat. It's male, I guess, no pouch that I can see. Not a pounce, not a bounce, not a spring. It seems to me a helpless thing, so limited in what it can do. Useful skills completely lacking. I'm glad I'm a kangaroo.
Happy birthday, Mom! I'm going to read the first poem from your book called My Child. I love this poem because there's so many times throughout my life when I have really wanted to just creep back inside you and be nurtured by your love. But of course that wasn't possible, and you nurtured me anyway. I also love this poem because it perfectly describes how I feel about my children as well. My child. I carried you inside my womb, growing beneath my heart. My body nurtured yours, and yet I didn't know you. You seemed just part of me. Then you emerged, an individual, distinct, demanding, no part of me at all. We searched your features for part of us to make you seem familiar and belong. Who are you, child? I really didn't know. Then, nourished from my body, nurtured from my soul, your needs became my own. Day by day, year by year, I came to know you. Precious, wonderful, unique. With each tear, each pain, each joy, each triumph, you crept back inside of me, and you became, after all, not seemingly, but truly part of me. Now, time nor distance can never take you from me, for I carry you inside my soul. Love you, Mom.
Blossoms in the snow. Young blossoms struggle in cold, heavy snow, who gaily hailed spring just a few days ago. Straight and stately, they stood in sunshine, in purple and gold, cheering winter's decline. But gentle breezes turned suddenly cold. Young things may suffer for being too bold. Fierce blast bashed the young, tender blooms, flattened, punished for blooming too soon. Mangled, crushed beneath a cold white shroud, their heads were tattered, their bodies bowed. Earth, life mother of all, sighed, "Be strong, of good courage, your stress shan't be long." Drawing strength from her life-giving breast, they strove toward light, enduring the test of darkness and cold, stretched toward the light, reaching upward, braced by nature's firm might. Now, in glorious contrast, they gaily glow, in vivid colors against the white snow, telling the promise of God's grand scope. Blossoms in the snow, symbols of hope.
My cover, my pretense to elegance, is first peeled away, my pride cast off. Next, the clingy comfort blanket, which protects me from seeing needed change, hiding beneath, is cruelly jerked away. Now my inner layers tucked so tightly lie revealed, stain and soil exposed. They are mercilessly stripped away to be washed, sanitized, and purified. leaving me bare to my inmost core. I'm ready now, with a fresh perspective, to be clothed again in clean white linens, to give refreshing rest to those who come to me, to extend comforting warmth to those I serve, then show a face of grace to those who need me. My selfish soul is changed.
I cannot fathom the vastness of the sea, the constant rhythm of its endless roar, its depth, its breadth, its great surging power, its ceaseless washing of the shore. Comprehension defies me. I walk along its boundless rim, in awe of his ocean and of him. Yet my footprints scar the pristine sand. I retrace my steps to blot them out. They resist all efforts of hand. I cannot remove them. I cannot erase the cleansing tide laps, the print-scarred land. Taking the sand I marred unto itself, my prints are washed all away. They are gone without a trace. The scentless cleansed and restored and replaced with the prints in his holy hands. He takes my sins unto himself. He washes the prints from my soul, leaving me cleansed, redeemed, and whole. Lord, how is it done?
To our grandchildren. Since childhood, I've loved trees. I've climbed their trunks, swung from their branches, relaxed in their cool green shade, inhaled their blossomed fragrance, feasted on their luscious fruit. But of all God's wondrous trees, our family tree is the tree I love the most. I love its spreading branches, its promising blossoms, its ripening fruit. Deep love is the trunk that supports it all. Trees stretch up high, reach down deep. Industry, integrity, honesty, faith are in the soil that clings to your roots. Grandpa and I are part of those roots. Should we ever lose one branch or twig, or worms of dishonor spoil our precious fruit, we would mourn forever and ever. Roots and branches make up our grand old tree, but you are the fruit, you are the seed. The future of our tree depends on you. Keep it lofty, keep it strong, make it last forever.
To our grandchildren. Since childhood, I've loved trees. I've climbed their trunks, swung from their branches, relaxed in their cool green shade, inhaled their blossomed fragrance, feasted on their luscious fruit. But of all God's wondrous trees, our family tree is the tree I love the most. I love its spreading branches, its promising blossoms, its ripening fruit. Deep love is the trunk that supports it all. Trees stretch up high, reach down deep. Industry, integrity, honesty, faith are in the soil that clings to your roots. Grandpa and I are part of those roots. Should we ever lose one branch or twig, or worms of dishonor spoil our precious fruit, we would mourn forever and ever. Roots and branches make up our grand old tree, but you are the fruit. You are the seeds. The future of our tree depends on you. Keep it lofty, keep it strong, make it last forever. Love, Grandma Tyler.
I was loving, elfin, and sweet, but I could set my jaw and stomp my feet. I wanted it clear, even at 2, that I was not an extension of you. And yet for years I could not sleep at night until in my arms I'd held you tight, and with my sharp little voice I'd sung tense and low, "Oh, mother dear, I love you so." Unstintingly, I gave you my heart, never withholding the tiniest part, but my will was then, and would remain, strictly my own guarded domain.
The Poet's Lack or Mine by Carol Waddoups Tyler. Am I too obtuse or a season too old that your obfuscated verses leave me cold? Is it in your acclaimed poetry's defect or in my woeful lack of intellect? It's not the poet who's on trial, says the critic with a mocking smile. Yet I do know what it is I want, and I find it not in your cheerless rant. Make me hear ocean song and calling birds. I'm not stirred by crude four-letter words. I love simile and apt metaphor, but yours seems so clouded, so obscure. Express what I feel but cannot say. Speak my thoughts in a new, fresh way. Make my soul soar or sink to depths. Show me life and truth, pain and death. But somehow touch my inner being with fresh feeling, touching, hearing, seeing. Then I'll call it poetry.
Who is my neighbor? In the middle of baking, I suddenly find I'm out of eggs. I'm in a real bind. A quick call to Janine across the way. She sends a boy with eggs and saves the day. My computer is driving me out of my mind. I need some help, the technological kind. Leaving her own work, she comes right away. Once again, it's Janine who saves my day. I need an idea. Can I pick your brain? Janine's ideas save me again and again. Way off in Australia, I need a recipe now. I depend on email and Janine's know-how. Today I'm blue, need a listening ear. Janine will take time to care and to hear. Whatever my need, she's always there, willing to help, to love, and to share. What joy she brings, she's my godsend.
my daughter, my neighbor, my friend.
I remember a little girl who was mine, hair all aglow and eyes all ashine. Before the world took you away from me, you would run to me often to wipe away a tear. You would whisper your secrets and dreams in my ear. Then the world began to fill your needs. I saw you blossom from my planted seeds. I regret that the world took over my place, but a cherished little girl I still see in your woman's face.
My wonderful friend Carol, I'm so honored to be asked to contribute to this little video celebrating your birthday. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday and a healthy, happy new year of your life. I love you so much. Happy birthday. Love. Love has wakened in my yearning breast. No longer does it sleep or dream in vain. Awake and learning how to be expressed, multiplying love again and again. Each person added to my little circle opens and expands it more and more. I come to understand love's miracle. I feel its power to heal and to restore. It starts to fill my empty, longing hunger. Its taste like heavenly manna is so sweet. A part of me is changing, sad no longer. What joy I feel. Love is more complete. The near love swells and fills close to the brim. The near I shall come to be like him.
She claimed she was an ugly child, teased for her tall, skinny frame, taunted for her freckles and kinky red hair. In the woman, these features made her strikingly attractive, enhanced by her unique sense of style. But it was the radiance of her spirit that rendered her truly beautiful. Her eyes, single to the glory of God, filled her whole glowing person with light. Through years of suffering, the glow of her warm smile, which never dimmed, disguised the constant presence of her pain. Her voice was one of intelligence and wit, her laugh compelled us to laugh along. Her tongue was that of kindness, which never spoke guile. When she spoke of husband, children, grandchildren, parents, and siblings, her eyes shone with love and tenderness. She was prepared for every lesson, having studied, underlined, and highlighted, and committed truth to her mind and heart. Thus, always prepared, her ready comments were full of insight, wisdom, and truth. If preparation symbolized her life, it gave comfort too at her death. She was prepared, but I was not prepared for how much I would miss her. That was Susan by Carol Tyler.
"88, a lifetime prime factored. If you take 11 and double it again and again and again, that's how you get to 88. Do you remember when you were 11? Dewey challenged FDR to be president. The school children were asked to vote. Only one brave girl raised her hand for Dewey. The Blitzkrieg raged in Europe. Hitler roared over the radio, "Afraid you hid under the bed." Bob and Don teased, but Ted left to protect. A lifetime later, you were 22, getting ready to graduate Rick's College. Eisenhower, who beat back Hitler, had become the president. You wondered who you would marry. Would children come to you? You were independent then. Did you fathom what was coming? Another lifetime passed, and you were 44, mother of 7, teenage girls and a toddler boy, and a middle child, now 11. You wrote award-winning roadshows, a bicentennial liberation of women, from heroic men to men who thought their guns made history. Another 44 trips around the sun, a journey you've made 88 times. Your children have children, your grandchildren have children. You've become the matriarch of 62. The 7 you bore chose 7 more. 23 grandchildren, plus their chosen 11, and 14 in a new blooming generation. Our last ancestor to near 88 was the pioneer Cyril Call. He fought the British in 1812 and came west, but expired 37 days short of his 88th. 11 doubled and doubled and doubled, 88 years in all. What will another doubling bring? Only eternity knows.
In 2018, so it's 3 years old. 58 years have bound us as one. I and you and me, welded forever in unity. To depths we never dreamed when begun. 7 times we have shared the mystery of birth, filling our lives with both trouble and mirth, making the purpose of life become clearer. Words are just words, true or suggestion. They can be false or perhaps lightly said. Kind acts prove your love beyond question. They spring from depths by pure motive fed. Your acts prove your love again and again by your tender touch and your constant care. You have always sustained me through pain and tied me to earth because you were there.